it was in the service at MAYC on the Sunday morning. I felt a real call to preaching and to ministry, um, and did sort of recognise that and talk to my youth group about it, and then found lots of other things to do instead. Um, some of them are, have been wonderful things. I've thoroughly enjoyed going to university and reading history. I love my family and I got married and had children and I love them dearly. And it was all great excuses for not answering that call. The time wasn't right. I'd got other things to do. Um, and I think God felt I had other things to learn as well. I think I see God at work in the people. Um, there are some people in Bishop Auckland and Shildon who are just so dedicated to ensuring that people know they are loved by God. And they really take the time to encourage and to support their fellow Christians as they walk together and really go out of their way to share that good news. And I think that's where God is. God is with those people who despite it being, a difficult economic environment and a difficult time for many people, they still want to share that good news. And the real joy that they have in talking to others about Christ. And they just do it as part of their everyday life. And that is such an inspiration. You have an idea of what your probationary period will be and what you'll do and all the things that you will achieve. And I got through to last Easter. And at that point I was then well, before Easter. So beginning of Lent, I got through to the beginning of Lent and then had a diagnosis of breast cancer. So I then worked through to Easter and then was off work for a number of months, which wasn't what I'd planned to do. But again, I learned an awful lot about God in that time. I learned a lot about myself, that God still hasn't quite given me the gift of patience yet. I am not as but I also learned that God was with me in those frustrations and the waiting times. And God revealed God's self through the care of the church, through the care of the NHS, through the care of my family. That the love of God was revealed through all of that support that was given to me. I wasn't expecting to be ill, and I wasn't expecting to feel the way I did when I was ill. But on the other hand, in my head, I knew that God was a loving God and God is a God of healing and a God of wholeness. I knew that in my head, but that didn't stop it being a surprise when I found it in my heart. Um, and I think with all the training and everything, you know so much in your head, and there's so many people that read and have God in their head. Um, and I think it's always a surprise when God opens up your heart in a different way or a new way. Um, you think you're full, you think you're full of God's love, and then God puts some more love in. Um, and and God pours that love in through people, through the church, through the support that you get. It's yeah, God fills you and then fills you up even more.
Mm,
And yeah, we know in our head that God is beyond our comprehension, but
mm,
when that hits you and when that realization strikes you, you go, wow.
Mm.
Um,
And can you remember the moment that you felt that? Where do you feel it? Was it?
I think it happens over and over and over again. There's been all sorts of moments when, right through my faith journey, when I've had that experience of God's overwhelming love and that sense that God is so much greater than we can ever comprehend, imagine, understand. MAYC is the obvious one, but other occasions, times of prayer on my own, services where something has been said that could have been scripted for you personally. Um, Times when people have just sort of sent you a message, just thinking about you, and you think,
Mm.
"Wow, I needed that at this moment." Um, it's all these little times, and that sense of things coming together, and yes, God's hand on everything, um, and making things work.